Hello everybody, it's time to go over interactive problem number 23. The auction starts one spade on our right. We have 17 points and 5 hearts. We overcall 2 hearts. This hand is not too strong to overcall. Our overcall range at the 2 level is somewhere between 12 and 17 or 18. But with only 5 hearts and 17, we have a straightforward 2 heart overcall. It goes pass. And North has 8 high cards, and you know that when I'm the shorthand in trumps and I have a fit for my partner, I do like to add points to my hand for shortness, because that singleton diamond does have the potential of producing extra tricks, because if we can score diamond ruffs on that North hand, the 2 hearts and the 3 hearts, those are tricks that are not counted by our high cards. So when you have a fit for your partner and you have shortness, it's okay to add dummy points. I add 5 for a void, 3 for a singleton, and 1 for a doubleton. But I've heard people who say that when you only have an 8-card fit, that you should just do 3, 2, and 1, which is very reasonable too. But the problem is I don't want to add points to that North hand, because we also have the Queen of Spades, which you can see is a very useless card. It's not going to produce 2 points worth of value. So somewhere in there, that North hand, if I were to just take a stab of what I thought it was worth, I think it's worth around 9 points. So 9 points is just a simple raise of 2 hearts to 3 hearts. We don't need to Q-bid. And South, when you hear your partner raise, you bid game. So before you go ahead and watch the rest of this video, play the hand out using the interactive features on WalpertBridge.com. It's free to join, free to play. And if you're watching on YouTube, do hit that thumbs up and leave a comment to help me spread the word to other people. So most of these interactive problems are match point problems. I'm always looking at them from the perspective of how can I eliminate the maximum number of losers that I possibly can. And I usually start by counting the losers in the long hand. Hands like this, by the way, can easily be attacked by counting your tricks too. You don't have to count losers. There's no right way to go about it. I just find that by focusing on my losers, I tend to find the quick route of getting rid of losers, and it makes me realize my order of operations a little bit quicker. So with this South hand, I'm going to lose 1 or 2 hearts depending on whether they break 3-2 or 4-1. Maybe on a disastrous day, they might break 5-0, but I don't have to worry about that. And I'm already going to lose this spade at trick 1. The only other losers I really need to deal with on this hand are the 7-3 of diamonds. And so it's really important that I'm going to think about how am I going to get rid of that 7-3 diamonds. Because one way is, as we described about evaluating the shortness on the North hand, the easiest way to get rid of those losers is going to be by trumping them in the short hand. If we can trump one of our diamonds with the 2 hearts and one of our diamonds with the 3 of hearts, that's the end of our diamond problem. Alternatively, there is the club suit. We have 7 of them, so it could produce an extra club trick. If they divide the 6 that we're missing, divide 3-3, the last club will be good. But we don't need to worry about it on this hand. It really we can get both of our diamond ruffs cleanly, and so. Your first decision is at trick 1, should we cover with the queen or should we play low? It actually makes no difference. So for the video, I'm going to play the queen, but it really doesn't matter. If you do play the queen, you are left with a small decision at trick 2 as the defense plays back the ace of spades. You have to decide whether to ruff high. And there's absolutely no reason to ruff high. If you do ruff high, you'll be creating an extra trump trick for the opponents anyway, because then you'll only have the king to draw trumps. And we don't know we're getting over-ruffed, so we should just ruff low. But now it's very important that we're planning our entries and how are we going to ruff both of our diamonds and dummy. And so we can get back to our hand twice safely. We're going to have to use 2 of dummy's trumps. So we can only cross once in trumps and we can cross once in clubs. But we really don't want to trump a spade back to our hand, because that's going to open up the door to being over-ruffed. So we go ace of diamonds and a small diamond. And this is a really important technical skill. There's no reason to cash that king of diamonds. If we cash that king of diamonds, I'll just show you the east hand for a moment. What'll happen is we will shorten east to the point where now when we go and try to ruff our second diamond, they're not going to have any more. But by not cashing the king of diamonds and just trumping a diamond right now, you see that east is just keeping a diamond, so we'll be able to ruff the 7 of diamonds no problem. So there's no reason to unnecessarily cash that king of diamonds. Okay, so let me close the east hand. Now we can cross back to our hand with a heart. And and trump a diamond. And now cross back to our hand with a club. And we play the king of hearts. And in this hand, there was actually terrible news that they showed out, but it didn't make any difference from this point in the hand. We just have our diamond trick and our clubs, and eventually they're just going to get those 2 hearts, but they were always entitled to those 2 hearts. So they can get it right there. And so we lost 2 hearts, and we lost that original spade. So I just want to jump back to the beginning of the hand a little bit further than that. So when we started this hand, we had a spade loser, we had possible heart losers, and we had possible diamond losers. The only ones that we could deal with were the diamond losers. We had to rough them in dummy. Now, some of you guys may have had a really easy time with this hand, but if you got this hand wrong, this is an essential declare play skill that you must focus on. When you are declaring a trump contract, it is imperative that you look to see if you need to rough your losers in the shorthand. It's a common technique, and some people just see it automatically, and some people really struggle with it. And if you struggle with it, it needs to be at the top of your checklist when you're playing trump suit contracts. Do I need to rough my losers in the shorthand before I draw trumps? Ask yourself. Thank you very much, and see you soon.